All right, guys. So I watched Mufasa, The Lion King. This is the latest Disney animated feature film. I am going to stress this. I am going to be pedantic about it because it is the most annoying part about movie discourse in the last like 5 or so years is this notion that these Lion King remake and now prequel movies are live action. They are not. They are entirely computer generated movies. You want to know what that means? It means that they are animated movies, okay? This freaking 1984 esque Orson Welles Big Brother watching you propaganda that Disney has been trying to feed into the people of the world, that this nonsensical claim that they're live action movies. No, it's animated. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's so weird too because it's like this is kind of like the this is I feel like this is like the implicit sort of assertion with these live action remakes, and this isn't a remake, but you know what I mean. It's like this implicit assertion that live action is somehow better than animation or more grand or more important than animation, which is like completely nonsensical because it's like even if you concede that it's an animated movie, it doesn't make it any less good or less important or less valid. So I don't know. It's like everything about that whole conversation of Disney like needing to insist that it's a live action movie they because they think that that's somehow a selling point. Because oh well, if it was just an animated movie, well then it's not as important. It's not as special. It's not as much of an event. That's just annoying to me. But anyways, talking about the movie itself. So for people that don't know, what this movie basically is a essentially Rafiki. He's telling Simba's daughter, and as well as Timon and Pumbaa, he's telling them the story of how Mufasa became the king of Pride Rock or whatever. And the so Mufasa is on the right there, and Scar is on the left, and it's also like an origin story of how Mufasa and Scar grew up together. Uh, and if I could use one word to describe this movie, I would say sauceless. I would say eh, it's just kind of a nothing movie. Now, I'm coming at this from the perspective of somebody that doesn't really have a ton of nostalgia for the original animated movie. I think it's fine, you know. Um, but I didn't really watch it as a kid. I watched it like for the first time I think as an adult. I probably did watch it as a kid, but I remember when I watched it as an adult, I didn't really remember it that much. And I was like, yeah, that's good, but I don't have any nostalgia for it. I never watched the 2019 remake, but I figured I could just walk into this one because I'd seen the original, and it's a prequel movie anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, this is just like one of those movies where it truly has nothing to offer anybody. I feel like because if you like if it even if you're like somebody that is you know easily emotionally manipulated by like member berries, right? If you're the type of person that likes to point at the screen and go, oh, it's the thing that I recognize. I know what that is. Serotonin in my brain. I'm happy now. Like if that's you, right? If 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 your favorite Marvel movie after Endgame is No Way Home because you like pointing at the screen whenever Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire jumped out of a bullshit multiverse portal. By the way, I'm not judging anybody for that. It's I mean, doesn't enjoy what you enjoy. That's all cool. But even if that's you, there's like not really much here for you. Like you're not getting the original songs because they already used that up for the 2019 remake. Um it's a new story, so none of the same story beats are really there for you. Uh there's not a ton of like imagery that you're gonna be like, oh, I remember that. I've seen that before. Like, not there's not really much there for you on that front. I mean, there's some like, especially near the end of the movie. There's like there are things of like, oh, so that's how that happened, and oh, that's how that happened, and so there's like some, but like for most of the movie, it's just like kind of new things. Um, and like speaking of these new things, you know, you have the villains of the movie, which are these white tigers, or not tigers, lions. They're also lions. And you know that they're bad because they're white. They make sure to differentiate the good and the bad lions by color. Um, but honestly, they're not super compelling villains either. And I don't know, like I gotta say, I think the most annoying part about the movie was just how boring it looked. Like there's nothing compelling about the visuals. It's like as much as I think that the animated movie is like slightly overrated, at least it had some kind of like, or at least it had like beautiful art to look at. It's like almost every shot in this movie is just like generic Windows default screensaver. Like there's just nothing inspiring about any of the shots in this movie. I mean, well, I'll say I won't say that there isn't anything. Like there are definitely some moments where, you know, there's like, okay, that's kind of an interesting artistic shot, but they're few and far between. Like most of it is just the most boring staging. It just is like a landscape, and there's just no like there's almost no like artistic impression. There's almost no artistic detailing to any of it. It's just bland. And then as far as the stuff that I just straight up thought disliked, that I kind of hated, was the humor. Like Timon and Pumbaa, absolutely hated them in this movie. Some like just fucking annoying. There's also this bird. I forgot what his name is, but you know, the bird from the Lion King. He's voiced by John Oliver in this, who's not a good voice actor. I don't know why anybody lets him in a booth. Like, why? Stop. um, and yeah, I don't know. And then yeah, like it tells a new story, but it doesn't tell it particularly well. Like, I don't think like it tells you the origin of Mufasa and Scar, and it's like, I don't know. Did you really need to know that? The answer is no. You honestly don't. So yeah, I don't recommend this. I had to choose between this and Sonic 3, and I chose this because I still haven't watched any of the Sonic movies. So, you know, I watched this under duress. I regret my life choices. Probably go watch Sonic 3 because it's probably better than this. Even if you haven't watched the other Sonic movies, just go watch Sonic 3 anyways. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Maybe you loved it. If that's you, then I don't respect you or your opinions. Bye.